Hi everybody, it's Chris at Mardave. Today we will be going through the AS500 side spring build. Now basically your car will come with a standard base plate, or you will have a GRP base plate without these extra tags on. So for the upgrade, the kit comes with the new base plate with the side screws. So imagine this is the rear of your car. You will have these screws already on the car, and the center post has normally got a short screw in it. What we've done is, with the kit, you now have a longer screw which comes through, which then you put the nut on to have the center bump spring. So this is the kit. You get a set of instructions of how to set up and what the roll springs and bump spring does. Base plate, you take this black piece here off of your old car and that goes on there. Just for the video purpose, we've showed it on there in the pack, but that's what you take off of your black base plate or GRP base plate and pop onto there with two screws. The kit comes with the ball insert, comes with the side springs and new white spacers and all the fixings. So let's get started. First of all, what we'll do is we'll assemble the rear pod. You put the two screws and the thin nuts through the tabs on the side and tighten up those two side screws. It comes with the droop screws already in the plate, so you would take your plate off of your other car or other base plate and pop those on. Screws are in the box, so you just literally do those up and nip them up on both sides. And that, some of you have got a red O-ring, some of you have got a black O-ring. The red O-ring is V8DW, which is a softer O-ring, and the kit one is a black O-ring. We just find this is more consistent, the red O-ring. So that's the base plate done. So you've got two side screws, the rear plate on the back, the droop screws should already be in the bag. Pop the long screw through your guide pin at the back, so you've got a long silver screw. You either get a silver one, or if the black ones arrive in time, you'll have a black screw. Leave these in your car because I'll show you at the end of the video why we leave them in. So that pops onto there, over the guide pin, turn it over and pop in your screw that holds the base pod to the chassis, and that should all move nice and freely side to side, up and down. We then take the four screws which are in a separate bag. They're slightly longer than your kit ones. Pop those through the chassis. Then you put your four white spacers over the top. Then on your new side LiPo holders, there's a little indent. I don't know if you can see the indent. That's just a little seat for the spring to sit in. Obviously there's none on the other side, so this one goes on this side, so it goes over the long screw, over the screws that are through your chassis, and then two nuts on the top, and do the same on the other side. It should have that little indent which goes over the top, through, and two screws, and do those up on both sides. And do that on all 4. Try not to over tighten them, they don't need to be, they just need to be nipped up to secure the post in place. So that gives you your lipo holder, just for the, so I don't lose it, put the band back over the top. So now you've got free movement, screws in the holes, left and right. Then you get in your pack 2 black side springs and 2 little top hat seats. Now these are quite difficult to pop on, so what you need to do is, obviously I've got nails, so you put the spring over those little seats and they should sit on nice and straight on those little seats. Pop that over the side and it should move up and down freely on that thread. If they're tight, just run a little 3mm drill through the whole of the top hat. And then on that side, screws, same again, they're in the bag. Just nip those up. So you're just biting onto the nylock, and do the same on the other side. And then I'll show you how to set up the tweak with these 2 screws in the video later on. And then you will have 2 screws sticking out of the chassis, where you used to have your side springs, your rear springs, and the little top hats that came with it. What we do is, because this screw is longer, we only use one of these springs, and that spring goes over the top and is in the center. And then we put one of the nuts over the top and we tighten that up. Now it looks like I've dropped the screw walking over. So here's one I prepared earlier. Pop that nut over the top and just do that up so it just touches the top of that spring seat. It doesn't want to preload it, it just wants to sit, so it's just holding that spring in place. So now you have a bump spring, which is the back, and you have the side springs, which are the side springs. Just make sure they all sit and they all move freely. So that is your conversion kit for the Assassin Mini. The reason I say leave these 2 screws on, if you go to a club and they don't allow side springs, or you feel that the grip isn't sufficient, take these 2 nuts off, take the side springs off, and then put your rear springs back onto these 2 screws, and you've basically got a standard car again. Quick and easy to do. You could do it in between heats to try both arrangements out, and it's as simple as that. Setting the tweak, all you do is you put your car on. Imagine this has got front wheels on. You put a screwdriver under the front of your chassis, lift the front of the chassis so your wheels are just off the ground, and you can adjust these 2 screws, one either side, to either bring this side of the car down or bring this side of the car down, so both front wheels, when you lower them down, that these 2 tyres touch the ground at the same time. Just bear in mind, if you've got odd tyres on the front, that's not really going to be a good thing. So just make sure the 2 front tyres are exactly the same size, and you can adjust the tweak by these 2 nuts. These 2 side springs should just be touching the plates when you adjust this to start off with, before you do the tweak. So all I do is adjust those down so they're just touching and both have equal pressures on the side. I hope that helps. If you've got any questions, pop them on a message to me. I'm here most days, so you can give me a call if you've got any questions about it. I hope that helps, and please, if you haven't already subscribed and liked the page, it does help. Thanks very much. Speak to you soon. Bye bye.